I have a guest for you. I have with me Adam Mockler. Mockler. He is a political commentator and the host of Adam Mockler Show on the Midas Touch Network. So how did you get into this and why?
Yeah, I used to make a bunch of videos when I was a kid. When I was like 9 years old, I had my YouTube channel that I run now, but I would do gaming videos, you know, Call of Duty and all that. I would play Call of Duty and I would edit the videos. I got really good at video editing, really good at politics. And when I graduated high school, I was like, wait a minute, I'm still really good at video editing. I'm good at talking politics. So I started to go to Trump rallies and talk to people, and then it went viral. So since I was 21 years old, I've been doing this. Now I'm 23.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you are a liberal?
Yeah.
And why?
Why? I think my values align with more center-left values of, I'd say, freedom of speech, personal liberty. I think liberalism is a lot about equality and equity, and I think that conservatism oftentimes isn't. It's a little bit more cruel.
What does that mean, equality and equal?
Equity?
Equity.
Well, yeah,
What does that mean, equality?
Equality, when it comes to liberalism, I mean just the ability for anybody to love who they want, the ability for anybody to act how they want as long as they're not harming anybody else. So when I look at conservatism, I oftentimes feel like it's not even about freedom. It's not about equality at all. When I look at liberalism, just from a really broad level, they want freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of all of this stuff.
But that's the same thing conservative want.
Do they? Does the current administration want freedom of speech?
Yeah.
You think so?
But why do you think they don't want it?
The current administration has been a little bit weird when it comes to freedom of speech. Did you hear about the Brendan Carr FCC stuff?
But who is acting up right now, the liberals or the conservatives?
The conservatives are in power, so they're the ones that are trying to stop free speech, it feels like.
So you believe in liberty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And free speech.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And those are your values.
Overall, broadly, yeah.
What's important to you
Personally? Like what topics right now?
No,
What
what's
issues?
important to you? You're a Z, right?
Gen Z, yeah.
And so what's important to you?
What's important to me, I just really broadly, is growing up in America where there's moral clarity and where my values can be represented. So my values of freedom of religion or freedom of like the right to say what you want. But right now, I'm really, really looking for a future where America can be anti-Russia and pro-Ukraine, because pro-democracy, anti-authoritarianism, anti-like demonization of immigrants, pro-equality, just a lot more of America with moral clarity in it.
When you say more clarity, what does that mean?
It means, you know, a few days ago when that Politico group chat article came out, all of those Republicans were saying crazy things in a group chat. It was like gas chambers and all of that in the group chat. Did you read that article at all?
Yeah.
J.D. Vance
I didn't read the article, but we did talk about it.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
J.D.
about.
Vance after that wouldn't even condemn it. He wouldn't even say that it was bad. And I think that's a lack of moral clarity. You're not
What
making
does more clarity mean?
you're being very, very clear on what moral values you want the country to stand for. And J.D. Vance isn't being clear. He's muddying the waters. And now people in my generation don't know, are we allowed to make jokes about gas chambers? People don't know. We need clarity on that.
And did you have that when Obama, well, not Obama, but Biden was in office? Did you have more clarity?
He was pretty clear, yeah.
It was more clarity then?
Yeah. He would say...
And what was it?
He would say,
what was the more clarity?
He would say, I'm not a president for Republicans. I'm not a president for Democrats. I want to be a president for all Americans. He would say that political violence is never okay. Like,
Well, yeah, that's all that ever happened. They had the Black Lives Matter stuff. They had
but Biden condemned that.
and all that. And so Biden didn't condemn Black Lives Matter.
He said the property damage he condemns.
So are you a Christian?
No.
And why not?
You know, my dad is Muslim, and my mom's side of the family is more Christian. When I was young, I used to go to the mosque a lot with my dad every Friday for Friday prayer. And one time my mom sat me down when I was like 9. She said, listen, you don't have to be Muslim. You don't have to be Christian. You can decide which path you want to go down. So after going to the mosque and after, you know, hearing some of my more Christian family members out, I made the independent decision that I'm more atheist agnostic. I don't believe in God. Intuitively, it doesn't feel right. There's no evidence to me.
So your mother stopped you from going to the mosque with your father?
No, she just said I have the choice because it's America. I like freedom.
Did your father know that your mother said that to you?
Yeah, my father was okay with it. I mean, should I be forced to be Muslim, you think?
Did your mother obey your father?
No, my mom is actually more independent than my father. My mom makes more than my dad. What do you think about that?
So your mother made more money than your father?
She does still.
Really?
Yeah, does that surprise you?
And your father is a Muslim, right?
Yeah, but those two things
But
aren't
normally
correlated.
Muslims don't fall for women being in control like that. What's wrong with your father?
What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
Nothing. I think that we live in a more, it's 2025 and things are changing. Women can make more than men. Men can choose to be what religion they want. It's different. Do you think my mom should force me to be Muslim or?
Does your father know? So your father's a Muslim. Do the Muslim people know that your father let your mother rule?
The Muslim people know that my father lets my mother
I
rule.
thought that religion was more
No,
of a masculine religion
It
than a
is,
feminine religion.
It is, but in the West, Islam is not so hardcore, like the man is in charge. There is a more toothless version of Islam that exists in the West where women can lead, women can be in charge. And by the way, my mom's not in charge. She happens to have a PhD. She's very, very highly educated, and my dad works at the family business. So it's not that my mom's in charge of the house. She's just more educated and had more upward mobility. And the Muslims in the community, they don't care.
So that's amazing, huh?
It's amazing. Yeah.
Were women created to lead or to follow?
I mean, neither inherently. What do you think?
What do you mean, neither inherently?
I think that a woman can develop into a great leader if she has the skill set, if she gets educated like my mom. If I think a lot of women can be great leaders, but inherently, nobody's a leader or a follower. Some women are going to be more predisposed to following people. I don't think that binary is quite true. Do you think
Would you ever follow a woman?
Sure.
You would follow a woman?
Yeah.
You would follow a woman?
I have a question for you.
No. Would you follow a woman?
Yes. Why are you trying to pin me down on this? I have a question for you.
Why would you follow a woman?
Say you have a man that is about to take you into a battle that you know you're going to lose. Or,
no. Why would you follow a woman? You don't believe in God, though, huh?
See, those two things aren't connected. Wait, I have a
question.
question.
Do you believe in God?
No.
So why is it that you don't believe God exists?
No, probably not.
So do you believe in evil?
Do I believe in evil?
Yeah.
Sure, the characteristic of evil, sure, yeah.
So you don't believe in good, but you believe in evil.
Wait, no. Do I believe in God or good?
Good.
Oh, I do believe in good.
But you believe in good and evil, right?
Yeah.
So how can you believe in good and evil and not believe in God?
Because I don't need the Bible to tell me that, something like, can I cuss on here? No?
No.
We
have kids, listen, man.
Sorry. I don't need the Bible.
We're a beta.
I'm a beta. I asked you. I don't need a Bible to tell me that women have bodily autonomy. I don't need a Bible to tell me that killing is wrong. I can kind of intuit some of these things. Wait, if the Bible didn't exist, would you know that, killing is wrong?
Where do you get your good from then if it's not from God?
If not from God, I can intuit certain moral positions,
How?
good or bad. If God didn't exist and if the Bible didn't exist, would you know that killing is wrong or right? Like, would you just not know? You wouldn't have any sort of intuition about it.
Where do you get your good from if you don't believe there's a God?
My mom. From women.
Your mother?
From women, yeah. I follow women.
Your mother is good?
No, women. I just follow women all the time.
Is your mother good?
Yeah.
And what's good about her?
She's smart. It's her birthday today, actually. And she generally is just a good leader. She's a good leader. Yeah, I don't know.
What's good about your mother, though?
What's good about her?
Yeah.
The characteristic of being sharp, smart, being able to clarify things in the moment. She literally started her own business. She's a business owner. She employs multiple other families. And because of that, their livelihoods depend on her. She has done this all at a young age. She had me at a very, very young age. She had me when she was still a teenager. And throughout all of that, she got her PhD. She's an accomplished person.
But what's good? You told me what she does and what she had. But what good about her?
What qualities are good?
Yeah, what's good about your mother?
Can you give me an example of what's good about someone you know?
No, what's good about your mother? You said she's good, but so far you haven't told me one thing that's good about her.
Let's see. What's good about her?
Yeah.
She's loving. She's accepting.
So you're not telling me what's good about her.
Can you define what do you mean by good?
Do you have love?
Yeah.
You have love?
Do I have love? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you love Donald Trump?
No.
So how you have love then?
I don't have to love everybody.
Where you get that idea from?
Wait, I have to love everybody?
If you don't love all, you love none.
Oh, so you love Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
Do you love James Comey?
I love all.
Letitia James?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So if you don't, how is it possible for you to love some but not all?
I don't think I have to love everybody.
Why not?
Because I can be selective with my love.
Where you get that from?
I don't know. I love my mom, but I don't love Hitler. Yeah.
But how did you make that decision, though? But you don't believe in God, huh?
No.
Oh, okay. But you believe in hell.
No.
You believe in evil.
Sure, yeah. I mean, how do you define
evil?
evil?
Where does evil come from?
Where does evil come from? I think human individual actions. I think when something evil happens, it's not always because of some figure that is causing that to happen. Individuals are responsible for their own actions and can be evil on their own.
That's amazing.
You don't think so?
So
Wait, can I ask you, where does evil come from for you?
And so you were raised up by a Muslim father and an atheist, a Christian mother or atheist?
Agnostic mother, yeah.
And so you've taken this side, believe what your mother believes, so you don't believe there's a God. You don't believe there's a hell or evil, right?
I came to that position on my own.
But you can't.
No, I did.
It's Tuesday. And one of my favorite days because Tuesday is and will always be country and western Tuesday. Yeehaw!
All my thoughts, well, they've all been lies.
Nice.
They let me down every single time because the devil's been making homes inside my head. The good, the bad, the glad, the sad. If I could let them all go and give them to God, well, maybe you take this anger from my soul. And I'd shine like a light that's too bright to see. And I could lean on God so He can lean on me. Forgiveness, righteous, perfect peace.
Amazing. Amazing. I know country and western music. Beyonce is not country and western. What now? Oh, amazing. According to NPR, one of the biggest days of protest against the Trump administration policies happened on Saturday in cities around the country in the U.S. Watch this.
To the presidency now, and quite a week for Donald Trump, filled with triumphs and troubles. Here's our Robert Costa.
President Trump's critics took to the streets Saturday.
What do we do? Fight back.
Organizers said there were more than 2,600 events nationwide. They were called No Kings protests, a nod to alarm about Trump's use of power, from immigration raids to the deployment of federal troops in cities. The crowds were energetic, and speeches were fiery.
We will not move toward authoritarianism in America. We, the people, will rule.
As for Trump, he mocked the protests on social media.
I didn't see that. You have probably one of the greatest president the country has ever had, and you fight against it. It's like having a good father in the home, and because the mother hates the father and turn you against him, you fight the good father, and you suffer. Instead of being grateful that finally we have a president that is truly working hard to put America first. And instead of helping and supporting that, you go out and get your thrill and pretend you fight against a king. The president never said he was a king. If he was a real king, you wouldn't be able to go out there and fight, believe me. But because some other evil people, the crowd, call him a king, you fall prey to that and you go with it. And it's all for the thrill. Hey, you must go, whatever they say. Those are just thrills. They feel good doing that. It ain't about nothing else but that. The ego death must precede life. It must go first. And you, as an individual adult, man or woman, are responsible for overcoming. Nobody else is. Not even your husband or your wife or your children. You and you alone must return to truth. You've been taught wrong. It ain't about color. It ain't about male or female. It's about good versus evil. And I'll be back in a moment. Oh, amazing. I want to quickly just finish up on this soundbite and get to your calls. I want you to know America has the best president. And I've heard people say Trump is like number 3 out of all the presidents we've had. But right now, we are the best president ever. And you're fighting against him. He's working on your behalf. In the same way that God tried to work on your behalf, but you won't even stay present with him either. You turn against God and right into evil. All thoughts are all lies all the time. You keep believing thoughts about anything. As you believe lies about Donald Trump. People say, oh, he is importing illegal aliens. And they say, this is not right. And you say, yeah, you're right about that. Like you don't know that that's wrong. We don't need illegal in our country. These people are breaking the law just coming across the borders. And you get mad because other folks said that they're mad. As though you don't have sense enough to think for yourself. You do the same thing with thoughts. You believe them, and you don't have sense enough to know there's another way of seeing things. You won't even trust it. And some of you are working on it. I know that already. Men and women around the world, I talk to you. But even then, you say, oh, this is too hard. How long will it take? This is too rough. I can't do this. And what you don't realize, the moment you say, this is too hard, how long will it take? You're consulting with your mind, you just lost. You're consulting with you, the fuck you. You don't know you should be quiet and go through it anyway. And have no opinion about it. Don't call it too hard or too easy. Don't say I am free or slave. You're still consulting with thought you just lost. In the same way, you're losing your country. You're following a bunch of people who say Donald Trump is wrong. And they pretend like before Donald Trump, we had the best thing going on. And it's all for a thrill. Your thrills are your thrills, and it's inside of you. Even the Democrats gave speeches, so-called leaders, gave speeches at the rally across America. And you act like the Democrats has been so great all these years, and Democrats, we just want you back because you really made America great. Watch this from Fox News.
So it may have been one of President Trump's most successful weeks ever, but tens of thousands of protesters didn't see it that way, taking to the streets to rally against the king and the government shutdown and President Trump's crime crackdown. Watch this.
President Trump, we don't want you or any other king to rule us.
We will never surrender. So Donald Trump, stay the hell out of Chicago.
In this city of immigrants, in Boston, every day is No King's Day. Donald Trump is not a king. Donald Trump is a bully.
Trump does think that he's a king, and he thinks that he can act more corruptly when the government is shut down.
No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. And we will win the victory.
Amazing. Donald Trump had never told you or said that he was a king. These evil people, all thrill seekers for themselves, not for you at all. And they're proving to you they're not going to do anything to make the country better. They've been in control of the country for years now. Are things better? Did things get better under them? But then you can go out and hold these stupid rallies and say those things, and you act like you can't think for you. You know what? Well, when they were in control, the races were more divided. There were more people victims than ever. They were relying on the government. Wars everywhere. You act like you don't have sense enough to say, well, you know what? But you follow the crowd. Isn't that amazing? You follow the crowd anyway. You're afraid to stand alone. You're afraid to be free. You're afraid that the people may hate you if you walk out of the party. As though they love you because you're at the party. They don't love you, and you don't love them. It's all for the thrill of it. When will you lay down your thrill-seeking self and have real life? You better be grateful we finally have someone that's working for us and not against us. In government, that old Bernie Sanders guy, he is socialist. And why do you think socialism is good for you? Socialism, communism is about control. They want to control you. Donald Trump wants you to be free. God wants you to be free. But you prefer being controlled by your thoughts and emotions. You prefer to be controlled by fear. God said in him there is no fear. But yeah, you said, no, what the? I want my fear. Who will I be if I don't have fear inside? God said a person with anger and resentment, which are both the same, is an evil person, a murderer, and do not trust an angry person. And you say, you know what, Jesus was angry? And you think Jesus had the anger that you have, emotional anger. Because you've been lied to by other thrill seekers. And you call them your leader. Here's an aerial picture showing protesters forming a human banner around the No Kings so-called National Day of Protest. Watch this. That's those like people?
Yeah, the writing there is made up of people. No kings. Yes on 50.
Yes on 50 is in California. They want to take on all the districts as many as possible so they can have so-called more representative in the House or somewhere in government. I never imagined for 1 minute growing up, and I grew up in Alabama on a plantation under the so-called Jim Crow laws. And I never imagined that my country can get so divided And there's so many people are victims. And I want you to know, and you can bank on this. You can put your Bitcoins on this, your money, your silver, and your gold on this. Anytime you're dealing with a person who think that they're a victim, or who think that you make me angry, you make me feel good, you made me the victim, you're the one holding me back. You're a racist. You're holding me back. You're this and you're that. You're holding me back. You're dealing with, I would suggest, do what you want. That you run as fast and far away as possible from the victim. Because a victim is an evil, it doesn't matter, man or woman, evil person, and there's no end to their destruction. A victim is a dangerous person. I promise you that. Because it's all about them and nobody else or nothing else but them. And they would do whatever it takes to get what they think they want or need. Even if it meant taking your life. Do what you want, but I'm telling you the truth. A victim is an evil person. Look at the people who cry racism. Do you see the love in them? There's no love in them at all. It's all about self. All about self. And you can't give a victim enough. The more you give, the more they want. Because a victim is never a person of love. They have no love. A spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. I want to show you a spiritual battle. This is like extreme, but any angry person, so-called good-feeling person or angry person, they feel good and they feel mad and they feel this, is an extreme person. Any person with anger, resentment, is an extreme person. And can snap at any moment. They have no control of themselves at all. Why do you think they screw up their own children? And an angry / resentful person is an extreme. When God said an angry person is an evil person and do not trust an angry person, he wasn't playing. KCBD is reported a dispute in a checkout line at a Marshall store in New Jersey led to a violent attack. Watch this.
Yeah, what do you think's going on in the world?
Insanity.
It is a busy Marshall's location, but on Saturday, patience ran out for one woman who ended up being arrested. Kearney police say 25-year-old Amber Thompson of Newark was angered by another customer whom she decided was taking too long in the checkout line and then threatened to harm the shopper once they got outside. Well, police say Thompson bought a set of knives, took one out of the packaging, chased the shopper down and stabbed her several times. The victim was rushed to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect was found back inside the Marshalls. Police say she was hiding in a bathroom where a bloody knife was also found. We tried to speak to many shoppers as they exited the store off camera. Some questioned whether or not there should be more security here, especially after the stabbing. Others say many people are simply on edge and acting irrationally.
Yeah, it's just crazy because it never happened.
Amazing, huh? That same spirit that caused that woman allegedly to do what they say she did is in you. And you have no love. This is why you don't pray for your neighbors, because you have no love. Your nature, your heart is wicked. Men or women, it doesn't matter. Drop the anger. Leave the party of fear and doubt, decision making, taking a side, judging. You are not created to live that way. You are not and was never created to live a life of hell. Isn't that amazing? At the store. Oh, she's taking too long. Let me kill this one. According to the story. Let me stab her. That's how you treat yourself and others. One stab after another. You might not be stabbing yourself with knives, but you're doing it with thoughts and emotions. How many stabs have you had today? Think about it. Wherever your today is and wherever it started, whatever country, how many stabs of thoughts and emotions have you had today? Of fear, of loneliness, of revenge, of doubt, of jealousy, of strife, of envy, of not being good enough, or not being too good, or being too good. How many stabs have you had today? That story from ABC 7 New York. One other quick example. Fox 10 Phoenix. A mother and son were arrested and charged with armed robbery after allegedly attacking their Phoenix neighbors with a metal pipe. Fox 10 Phoenix. What's this?
It's a dispute between these two neighbors behind me that has gone on for years, between witchcraft and armed robbery and attack on early Monday morning. Today, these two neighbors are pointing fingers at each other. Gabriela Martinez and Alberto Ayala face charges of armed robbery. Court documents claim the mother and son attacked their neighbors with a metal pipe, leaving them both with gashes on their head and necks before stealing their cell phones. Both parties say it all started with witchcraft and continuous acts being performed on voodoo dolls. Pablo Santiago is Martinez's longtime boyfriend, claiming the back and forth voodoo was causing his partner so much pain it was keeping her up at night.
Witchcraft, like satanic stuff. He's over there poking the dollies. As soon as he see me in a camera, you can start feeling poking in your body.
In police interviews, Ayala said his mother was fed up. He came to her defense and jumped the wall to find his neighbor and put an end to the voodoo. We did reach out to the victims who declined our request for an interview. As for the two suspects, they are still in jail at this time.
Mother, may I? Mother, may I? What a mess, huh? How come people believe voodoo works? Nick, you believe voodoo works? Uncle Baby?
No.
I wonder what makes people believe that somebody, your next door neighbor, or right in your same home, can create a doll and stick pins in it and somehow or another that'll affect you. What the? They believe voodoo works. When I was growing up, I used to hear about voodoo, but it was from people from foreign countries. I was like, why do they believe that, Mama? Why do you think that somebody can punch a doll and make you feel pain? You know that's in your mind. What the? All thoughts, all lies, all the time about anything. And now they're attacking one another, according to the report. Amazing, huh? A battle between good and evil. And I want to encourage you this Halloween. I don't even know if I will open my doors if people ring on your door for the candies and whatever you're giving out. Because nowadays you can't trust people for Halloween. You can't trust it anymore. They have defunded the police. They have let the inmates out of prison. They have brought in foreigners into my country, your country, my country, and all hell has broken loose. You can't even enjoy Halloween now. According to ABC News, doorbell camera video shows 3 people in Halloween masks allegedly terrorizing a family on their doorstep after attempting to break into their home in Virginia. Watch this from ABC News.
From pulling on the front door
Open the door! Open the door!
to making the motion of cutting their throat before threatening to break into the house.
I'm gonna count to 10. If this door doesn't open, we're gonna come in. 1, 2.
I said Happy Halloween when they first came, asked them to get off the property. When they didn't, that's when I realized it wasn't a joke anymore.
Our ABC affiliate WJLA speaking with Shayla, one of those family members inside. She says the three never got into the house.
They tore the whole thing down.
She says they made their way to the backyard, destroying her fence and the screen to the back door.
They came through there, and that's how they entered to get to our door to be able to knock on the back door.
I'm not aware of incidents that have occurred this heinous before. And that's why it's so concerning.
Police in Alexandria now investigating. The chief calling this video very alarming.
But we're going to take every step once we identify them to prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
They're even taking away your Halloween. (888-7753-773), and you vote for the same people. And then you have a march and a rally calling the Great White Hope king because he's trying to protect you from evil. That's how you do with God, too. God is trying to protect you from evil by telling you to go and forgive and stay present. Don't forget to stay present, he says. And I will take care of you. You don't trust that. You trust the Halloween costumes in your mind. You trust the demons in your thoughts. All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. And you trust them. You try to see your way out of, think your way out of your problems. Can you get into crazier than that? You can't think your way into the problem. You thought your way into it. What makes you think you're going to think your way out of it? You have to see your way out, not think your way out. It's Wednesday, and it's the last hour of the show on Wednesday. And every Wednesday, last hour, is Manhood Hour. What is a man? What is a man? Man.
It's an adult human male.
Manhood. Hillary or President Trump?
I voted for Hillary Clinton.
Beta male. A man is a male who turned to man. Alpha male. Live right, be right, and lead the way.
Tonight, this 23-year-old man is in jail accused of trying to rape and strangle a woman on a trail in Orange County.
Okay, what if I got him to apologize and promise to behave?
After only 48 hours in police custody, Judge Elaine Barber let Tillman out.
If I get any inkling that you have violated the conditions of pretrial release, you will be arrested on a no bond warrant. You'll be put right back in jail and you will not get out. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You promise to behave?
Was the judge bound by some type of law to release this defendant?
No, Lawrence, the judge was not bound by any type of law.
And Tillman was in court this morning for his hearing, and the judge denied him bond. That's because he violated a no-contact order with a witness in this case.
Jack, you promised that you would behave yourself.
What a mess. Thank you, Anchor Baby. What a mess, huh? Hell on earth inside a human being. You don't have to be afraid to die. Because if you have not overcome anger / resentment, judging, thinking, and all that, you're already in hell. You're already in hell. So you don't have to worry about dying and going to hell. You're in hell already. But fret not, you can overcome. You can literally have perfect peace right here on earth. As I said in the first hour today, and if you miss it, make sure you podcast it. You can have perfect peace right now, but you got to completely let go of your psychological and emotional state of being. You got to let go, period, really. and then the truth will take over, and it will do the work for you. I want you to really, for those who want to change, most people don't want, they love their misery, so it's not for you. They love their hell, they love their fears and their jealousies and their stripes, and they roam the earth to see who they can hurt because they love the thrill of it. But most men and women, there are other men and women who are not in love with that anymore. You don't have to be that way anymore. You don't have to live that way. You don't have to be you anymore. But you gotta see this and then let go, because you can't change it. You gotta completely let go and let the truth work on your behalf. And I promise you that if you let go and by realizing of yourself you can do nothing, you cannot change anything about you, and you let go, the truth will work on you. It will do it for you. It will do it for you. It'll change everything about you. But most people don't trust that truth. They trust thoughts and emotions and ideas and plans and evil. They trust that. They trust just reading the Bible and getting ideas about God and never knowing God. And then they say, well, I'm only human. We're not perfect. I can't have perfect peace, they say. You can have perfect peace. So do what you want. But for those men and women around the world who are tired of living in fear and doubt and loneliness and worry and unhappiness, angry, emotional, stressed, HDD, HDTTD, LGBTQ, whatever. If you're really fed up with living in that darkness, let go. From this day forward, never call yourself anything else. Overcome all identities. Have none. 0 identities so that you can be free. But in order to become free, you must allow yourself to go through hell of dying from this false identities, psychologically and emotional death. You must die from all your identities, men and women. You got to go through hell in order to reach heaven right here on earth. You must go through hell in order to reach heaven right here on earth, and only the truth can do you that for you. It will take you through hell and destroy the illusion of hell and give you heaven. So here's what I recommend. I want to play the if poem for you. And I encourage you, men and women who want to overcome, and you can if you want to, but you got to let go. You got to feel the pain of hell and don't call it you. And men and women, I want you to listen to this. Then I take your call and your super chats. If you do this, I promise you, on the other side, you will have perfect peace. And you will have an amazing life right here on earth. You don't have to wait till you die and people lie and say how wonderful you were. I want you to listen to this closely. And I highly suggest do what you want. You do what it says. This is if from RuPaul, what's his name?
Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling. Watch this.
If by Rudyard Kipling.
Listen to the words.
If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but are none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. And, which is more, you'll be a man, my son.
That's so deep. It's so deep. I don't know what to tell you, except that it's true. But you got to let that happen. Whatever wants to happen to the ego, let it happen so you can do the if. Men and women. And that, he's the president, the Great White Hope is, so they're showing you that in the president. But this is in your everyday, daily life. If you can endure all those things, and you can, don't hold anything against anyone. Pray for them rather than getting angry at them. If you got to stop hanging out with them, stop hanging out with them, but don't be mad. They know not what they do. They're lost. They're asleep, and they can't see. When people talk about you and try to hurt you, when your husband or your wife want to leave, let them leave. What's wrong with you that you're hurt because someone don't want to be with you? And if you're hurting, just know that something is wrong with you. It's wrong to hurt. There's something wrong in you that's hurting. It's not you. You got to be willing to drop this ego nature of thoughts and emotions. And I know the world have taught you that, oh, that's so important. You got to feel something. You got to feel good or feel bad. Good is good and bad is bad. They set you up from the day you were born. All people have to go through this. You got to return to the Father. There is an order to life, whether you accept it or not. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. The other way is not going to work. Even with the greatest of intention to try to make that work, it will not work. Because the truth is not going to change this order just because you don't want to hear it. It's not going to change for you. It's not like human beings. You keep, Mama, can I go out and play? No. Wash the dishes first. Mama, can I go out and play? No. You got to clean up. And then eventually Mama said, well, all right, clean up when you come back. Go ahead. Truth is not going to do that for you. It's going to stay and you follow it. It's not going to make way for you in that way at all. Anyway, you got to do what it says if you want the prize. You must forgive. Men and women of all ages, all races, and all colors. Rich or poor, it doesn't matter. Until you forgive, drop the anger, you will never know peace at all. And life will be a struggle psychologically and emotionally. Then you go to a psychiatrist or a counselor, and they'll give you medication because they're lost too. And now you high as a kite without knowing what's going on. Still miserable. It's up to you. And I want you to know that the pain you feel is in you, and the world has nothing to do with it. They have nothing to do with it at all. They have nothing to do with your fears and your doubts and your loneliness and your worry and your anger, your fear, your resentment. It's in you. Why not overcome it? Stop blaming others for the way you feel. It's neither black, nor white, nor Jewish, nor Gentile, nothing. Not male or female. It's good versus evil. So I recommend you, as a man, a male, or a female, take control of your own world. Take control of your own world. You are the world. But you got to have control of it, for you can know what it's like to be in control of your own world. And you can know that. You're not stuck. There is a way out. And the people who are acting out in the world, that's what's happening inside of them. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with this or that. That's in their world. And what they're acting out is what's happening on the inside of them. It's all evil. Human beings, human nature is no good. There's nothing good in human beings at all, not one. The wickedness of human beings is mind-blowing. You don't even know the dark depth of how evil human beings can be. And they get a thrill because evil is their God. The president is doing what he can to make America great again. He's cleaning up the house that was destroyed by prior presidents and so-called leaders of this country and of the world, but especially of this country. And the evil ones are doing all they can do to prevent that from happening because inwardly their world is screwed up. An example of that are from X. And these are adults acting like crazy people. Grown adults, protesters dressed up as ICE. Grown adult protesters dressed up like LICE agents rolled around on the U.S. Constitution at Seattle. No keen protest. Watch this from X. These are adults.
Yeah, as Jesse described, it's people dressed up as ICE agents, but they're wearing little bug heads, so they're like LICE agents.
They're rolling around on the Constitution. These are little children because they have no understanding. Christ knew that too when he was around teaching. Even his own mother, even his own followers, the people who follow him, they were like little children, 80, 90 years old, 30, 40, 60, 70. He knew that they didn't understand. They were asleep, and they did not understand what he was talking about. He knew one day they would when he rose again. The Spirit would make it clear as to what was really going on. But he knew that, like these people rolling around trying to prevent the president from protecting the citizens of this country, they're like little children. They know not what they do. Grown adults. And the men are worse than the women. You would think they would be out there saying, hey, ladies, cut it out. Go sit down. Stop acting out. But they're acting like mama. They've identified with evil. You, and only you, men and women, male or female, are responsible for you. And you don't have to be you anymore. There's a way out. I promise you that. This is ridiculous, but they can't see. Don't be mad at them. You don't accept it nor reject it. Just don't, they can't see. Forgive them, they cannot see. Grown people are acting that way. Amazing, huh? Fox News is reporting 2 teenagers who are linked to the beating of a former Doge staffer, better known as Big Ball, but his real name is Edward Korstein in Washington, D.C., are now facing federal charges. Watch this.
On August 3rd of 2025, at about 2:53 a.m. Sunday morning, at the U Street corridor and 14th Street, which is a very popular hangout, Ethan Levine, a 22-year-old, and several of his friends were standing outside a Sunoco gas station. They were approached by a large group of teens, individuals who confronted them and began to assault them. Today, we are announcing that Lawrence Cotton Powell, who is 19 years of age, along with Anthony Taylor, who is 18 years of age, are now charged with assaulting Levine. The group then, they walked in the direction of where another crime occurred within minutes. Edward Korstein, a 19-year-old Doge person, was walking a young woman to her car. Approximately 10 suspects approached him, and as they did, he pushed the young woman into the car. And he was protecting her from the group before he was then attacked by multiple suspects.
Amazing, huh? That's inside of them. That's what they're doing in their own world, if this story is true. They're attacking others, and all for the thrill of it. It's all for the thrill. It's all for the thrill. Human beings hate human beings because it's a feeling. It's a thrill to hate. And they judge, and then they laugh. And it's not them, they're asleep. They laugh. There is an order to life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman. This is hell on earth. There's no such thing as heroes. Hero is just another idea in your mind to set you up to put someone else in charge of your life. My producer gave me this blueprint of life for men. And I saw this. I'm like, what the? Let me see that from the image from X. You have that there? I mean,
the order of God?
Yeah, the order of God.
Right here,
God.
you see at the top, Christ, and it says there, the biblical order of the family. Then goes the husband, protects the family, leads the family. Then goes the wife, who teaches, nurtures, and comforts, and the child, who loves the parents and honors the parents.
But the wife is not the teacher, the nurse, and the comforter. That's not true. And secondly, where is God over Christ? They don't show the Father, they just show the Son. God over Christ, Christ over man, man over woman, and the women over children, getting her direction from the man as he gets his from Christ, as he gets his from God. This picture's all messed up. This must be a DEI thing. What
God's assumed, right?
What?
God's assumed, right?
What?
God is assumed.
What does that mean?
I'm assuming God is already here in this image.
Where's God in that?
In our hearts.
Where is God in that picture, though? God is the one that leads Jesus. If it wasn't for God, there would be no Jesus. What now? Amazing. That must be a DEI thing. A liberal DEI, that. Amazing. It is Thursday. And as you know, we love the Bible Thumpers here on JLP Talk. And we try every day, well, not every day, but I get calls from Bible Thumpers, and they need a little bit more time because they can't get past thinking about the next scripture during conversation, so it's difficult to try to have a real conversation. So we decided, you know what, let's set aside a day for, even though we take all calls, let's set aside a day for the Bible Thumpers. And we realized that Thursday is the perfect day for Bible Thumper Thursday.
Oh, God. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? I don't feel your face. Are you ready?
Amazing! Bible Thumper Thursday. Christ said, and I repeat, you don't have to be you any longer. You can be free. But one thing for sure, you got to work on yourself. You got to be committed to putting what's right first. And you will never know what's right until you work on you. You got to work on yourself. Isn't that amazing? Know thyself. Know thyself. Know thyself. Life is for all who will receive it. Eternal life. For all who will receive it, who want it. You got to want it in the right way. You can't be tripping and want it. You got to calm down. Amazing. It's a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. Has nothing to do with color, nothing to do with male or female. And each individual, each adult is responsible for him or herself spiritually. There's not, your husband can't do this for you, ladies. Your wife can't do it for you, for the husbands. Your daddy, your mama can't do it for you. Only you can travel this journey alone. You cannot take either one on this ride with you. Isn't that amazing? Now, for those who are afraid to be alone, and a lot of people are afraid to stand alone, this is one time you have no other choice if you want eternal life. You must travel this journey alone. Amazing, huh? What the? So, I've said that I want my country back. And I know and realize that it's never going to be America again. Maybe namesake. They may even change the name America, to be honest. Maybe namesake only. But my country, I don't even recognize my country anymore. As a matter of fact, I have to reflect to remember how it was at one time, how amazing America was when I was growing up down in Sweet Home, Alabama. I have to reflect to remember how great America was at one time. Isn't that amazing? Yes, Jesse, that is amazing. And what's really interesting to me, it's so interesting to me, I don't know what to do with it. It's mind-blowing how easily it is happening, too. It's just happening. There's no road bumps there to stop this from happening. Changing my country to foreign country. It's interesting how they have allowed so many foreigners into America, and they come with their own ideas. They bring the same ideas they're supposed to be leaving, the same environment they're supposed to be leaving. They bring here to America and establish it and change the look, the personality, the beauty that America had. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. Why go to a country? Why leave your country and go to a country that at one time was free, but then you go and you change it into the country you left? That doesn't make sense. And why do the people who run this country allow that to happen? I remember years ago when they first started allowing a lot of Mexicans into the country and into California. And I remember downtown used to be an American downtown area there, East L.A., downtown Los Angeles. And it used to be a nice place to go and party, have lunch, look around. It was America. They have this, I don't know if they still have this hotel downtown, and you can go in that hotel and go all the way up to the top of the hotel, and they had a restaurant there that you can sit and listen to piano music, and the restaurant is turning around. So it's like, it's turning. You don't even feel it turning, but it's turning, and you can see every aspect of downtown as it's turning around slowly. I used to love hanging out downtown. Now you put your life at risk when you go downtown. It looked like Mexico. It doesn't even look like America. And I used to think, why are these people coming here and recreating the environment they left? Why? If you're that in love with the environment you left, why didn't you stay where you were? Why, if you're going to come to America, why not take on America culture? I like that word, culture, meaning environment. And then the Asians started moving into the down a little further away west from downtown in Olympic, Pico area there, Wilshire. And they turned Wilshire into Chinatown. I'm like, what the? And then the blacks came from countries, and they turned area into the area they left. And my Americans gone. And now they have the Allahu Akbar people here, the Muslims, especially over in Detroit. And not only have they turned Detroit into the Allahu Akbar looking country, they're wearing those same clothes where they cover up, and then they have this loud prayer thing they do, waking up the Christians. The Christians don't want to be hearing all that loud. But they're waking up the Christian when the Christians complain about it in their own country, a Christian, Judeo-Christian nation. The people get mad at the Christians. And now that they're all about people, but bring that noise over here. Why you got to play all that loud noise from your church building? It doesn't make sense to me. WXYZ is reporting some Dearborn residents are voicing complaints about outdoor calls to prayer that can be heard on loudspeakers throughout the city. Watch this.
Here at the Islamic Institute of Knowledge on Schaefer, the call to prayer comes out twice a day through that loudspeaker up there for about 2 minutes. It's just one of the many mosques that follow this practice in the city, raising some concerns with residents. This is the sound the daily call to prayer Dearborn resident Andrea Unger says is something she personally does not want to listen to daily. She's brought this up at numerous city council meetings, including on October 7th.
Your freedom of religion does not allow you to force me to listen to your prayers in my yard or home when you could do this by your app or text or phone or email or inside your own walls.
Unger lives just blocks away from the Islamic Institute of Knowledge, and ever since they began work on this extension to their mosque about 2 years ago, she says the noise of the prayers has become too much. In the beginning, the mosque admits they did their first prayer around 5 a.m., but have since stopped.
The early morning prayers are, we understand that there might be some people concerned with those, but since these complaints came in, we took the proactive step in order to eliminate the morning prayer, just to make sure we're respectful to our community.
Isn't that amazing? Why are they doing that, period, in this country? Why don't you pray quietly inside your church building like normal people? Nobody want to be hearing that. And just think how they're imposing this on the American citizens. They're imposing it on the American citizen. Putting this big old loudspeaker on the top of the church and make sure you hear whether you want to or not. It's been said, and I don't doubt it, that the Muslims want to rule the world with their religion. And they see Christians and Jews as infidels, and they'll destroy you. And this is part of it. They're in a Christian country with that and getting away with it. Amazing, huh? That was from WXYZ TV. The city ordinance states that noise can't exceed 70 decibels. And supposedly the first Arab Muslim police chief is supposed to be doing something about it. Watch this from WXYZ TV.
We looked into the city ordinance, which states that noise is not allowed to exceed 70 decibels in residential areas in the daytime and 60 at night. Additionally, loudspeakers are not permitted between 10 p.m. and 7 in the morning.
If we have or can identify a mosque that's doing it before 7 in the morning, or if there is an excess of the decibels, there'll be written a citation.
Dearborn Police Chief Issa Shaheen says he has been working with houses of worship to make sure they are in compliance, measuring decibel levels personally, hoping residents can come to terms with these short moments of prayer.
It's no different than church bells that you might hear on Sunday.
Dearborn is a beautiful thing. A lot of religions here being practiced, churches, mosques, synagogues. So it's a beautiful thing. That's what America is all about.
That ain't beautiful. And America ain't about that. Sorry. You got America wrong. America is about Christianity. Sorry, buddy. And then that Chinatown thing I mentioned is that Wilshire and Olympic is called Koreatown. A little further down over toward the north is Chinatown by the Dodger Stadium, somewhere over there. But my point is, America doesn't even look like America anymore. Not just the people are so divided, and that is happening too, but it doesn't even look like America. It doesn't look like America anymore. How are you expecting to go into another country and change it into the way that your hometown look? It's kind of sad, to be honest. A country, America, that at one time was so beautiful. I remember when I first moved to Los Angeles in 1968. Los Angeles was America. It was like palm trees, blue skies, clean, jobs, opportunities everywhere. I changed jobs so many times growing up here in California. I don't even know. I forgot how many I had because they were just everywhere. And anytime you wanted to make a little bit more money, the possibility was amazing because you could just get a different job. You didn't have to go online looking for a job. You didn't have to fill out application online. You would go over to the job and say, hey, I'd like to apply for a job. And they would give you an application right there. You fill it out. You get the interview, and you know if you got it or not. Once in a while, they say, we'll call you, let you know. But most of the time, they will let you know right then and there. That's gone, too. Human nature is a mess. Amazing. And I think about the generations the new generation kids who are just born and been born within the last 10 years and on, maybe a little later than that. They don't even know that America used to look and be different. They don't even know that existed. So they would never know the beauty of America. And that's kind of sad when you think about it. It's a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. And you can bank on this. You could bank on this. It's going to get worse before it get better. Well, I don't even want it, not before it get better. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's too far. The can, as they say, been kicked too far down the road. Some of you from the old school may remember you could just get a job anywhere. When I first got to L.A., arrived in L.A. in 1968, I went right down the road from where I was living, over in South Central, and got a job at Better Foods Market, at the market, just like that. I started out as a boss boy. You know how when y'all go to the market and you get groceries, and the boss boy would put them in the shopping cart for you, and walk you out to your car and put them in your car, and then the boss boy would bring the shopping carts back into the store, or the shopping cart guy would go out and get them and bring them back. Now they make you bring them back, or they make you put them in a little zone somewhere. But you remember those good old days? And then I worked as a boss boy there, and then in that same store, opportunity came for me to rise up, make a little bit more money. So I moved into the produce department, and I would put out the produce. Made good money doing that. And then the opportunity came that I may work at the cash register. And you make much more money at the cash register, working the cash register. So I did that. And I didn't even think about race or somebody holding me back or anything like that. And then when I made all I could make in the market, I went to Sears and worked for Sears. Made good money there. And what we were doing there was repairing wash machines, putting them together, repair them, and all that kind of stuff. Still over in South Central L.A. What the? And then I went to some other job. I forgot. I had so many I forgot. It would take too long to explain it. But my country is gone. Even the beauty of the churches are being taken away. Remember when a church was just a church, but it was nice? And it was for all. That's changing now, too. Especially since they've allowed the females to pretend that they were preachers and pastors and bishops and teachers and all that. They have really changed it. In the same way they're changing America. WFAA is saying Dallas, Texas, is reporting in Dallas, Texas. The church in Oaklawn neighborhood says it's painted its steps in rainbow colors in response to Governor Greg Abbott's order targeting rainbow crosswalk. Watch this from WFAA.
A church in Dallas is taking a stand against Governor Abbott's new directive. He gave cities 30 days to remove street markings with political ideologies or risk losing funding for road projects. That includes rainbow crosswalks like the one in Oaklawn, an area welcoming to the LGBTQ community. The governor calls it a safety hazard, so the pastor of Oaklawn United Methodist Church just painted the stairs.
The bold statement of color that you see on our steps is a message to all who pass by, all who come up these steps and enter to know that they are beloved children of God and that who they are cannot be erased.
As for the crosswalk, it's still intact for now as the city decides if it'll remove the rainbow. So keep an eye on what's happening right now in Houston, where residents are openly defying city officials. On Monday, crews removed the rainbows in Montrose, and overnight, neighbors repainted the sidewalks, saying they're not ready to see them go.
Change in my country. And you got a female pastor, emotional, illogical, out of her mind. My country is gone. Now, she let the government get her mad about removing some sign from a street, and she's going to paint the church that color. It reminded me of Barack Obama when he was, I believe it was Obama lighting up the White House in rainbow colors. Like, what the? A battle between good and evil. Why are you allowing evil to rule over your life? Why are you allowing evil to win when evil has no power at all? It's been defeated. It's done. It's finished. Evil even lost the sting of death. And yet, you allow evil to rule in your personal life and your public life. Why? Why? No such thing as hero. No human being can save you. Earth is not heaven, and human beings are not God. Amazing, not God. Amazing, huh? You got to look within. Know thyself. Know yourself. Once you get to really men and women, once you really pay attention to what's happening in you, It's going to blow your mind. It's I shake my head at this sometimes. I'm like, I didn't know this. I'm like, what the? You are asleep and don't know it. You don't know that you're asleep. Really, you don't know it. Another thing I realized too, that's so deep, you can't make yourself believe this, even if you try it. There is no you. There is no you to think about. There is no you to worry about. There is no you to figure out. There is no you. And as I was saying to Tay from Asia, you want to be free? You could be free right now at the blinking of an eye. There's no you. And if you want to be free, never think about you again and never want to be out. You want to be over. Never think about that. Never say that. I want to be out. I want this to be over. Never say it. Watch what happens. It's going to blow your mind. There's no you. And all your life, all my life, you've been thinking that there's a you. I'm afraid. I'm sad. I'm going to get revenge. I'm jealous. Oh, you're jealous of me. You think there's somebody there that somebody else can be jealous of. There is no you. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. There's no drug addict. There's no alcoholic. There's no whatever you want to name yourself. I can go on and on, but my point is, why don't you give up? There's nothing you can do about the illusion but to overcome it. And that's why you're so evil and cruel to one another. And you get thrill. Your whole life is about thrills. You get a thrill thinking that you're hurting somebody. You roam the earth and go. You look in the family department. You look somewhere to find somebody to get a thrill from. To think that you're hurting them. And you're really hurting yourself. Because you're in your own world, but you don't know it. What you're doing to others, you're really doing it to yourself. Really. When you judge others, you're judging yourself. What the? What do you think about, it's Bible Thumper Thursday, right? I really want to know, I want to hear from you about this, if you don't mind. I hope you don't mind. You look like a friend of mine. Amazing. Please pardon me. What do you think about this pastor? I mean, your opinion, don't judge him. But what your opinion about what this pastor is doing? From New York Post. A Detroit pastor is under fire for ridiculing a worshiper who attempted to give $1,200 to the church instead of $2,000. The pastor's like, what the? I asked you for $2,000. You only gonna give me $1,200? What the? What do you think about this from X?
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfected Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
He asked you for $2,000, you gonna give him $1,200. What do you think about that? Really, just your first thought on that. What's your first thought? What do you think about that, Anchor Baby? Have you seen that?
I had not.
What do you think about it? If you don't mind.
First thoughts? I mean, just negative thoughts. I'm judging them. You told me not to.
Oh, I shouldn't have said, don't Judge. I
Mhm.
want to hear the judges, too. Amazing.
But yeah, it's a little, what's the word? Doesn't look right.
This man is not grateful for, God said to give what you can. And this poor lady, she'd have given $1,200, and now she's like, I have to work on the other $800. Well, that's not what I told you to do. He must not have read 2 Corinthians 9:7. Each one should give as much as he has decided on his own initiative. Not that some pastor tell you that. What the? Not reluctant or under compulsion. For God loves a cheerful giver. You should give what you want to give. Not because some pastor said, give me $2,000, you give me $1,200, and now you're like, what the? Amazing, huh? Here's something else I don't understand. Well, I understood the one about the pastor carrying all like that, but I don't understand. Nick, my computer went out thing. I don't understand my computer blank to whatever. I don't understand this situation. And I was reading I started reading this magazine I got in the mail recently, and it was talking about all these India people from India that are now in our country, and they are starting to run things in our country. And look like the people from India are more welcome than any other race. And so I don't understand that. And so the other day, the Great White Hope, Donald Trump, some people call him amazing. What manner of man is this? The wind and the sea obeys him. Some people call him king. Some people call him daddy. I call him the Great White Hope. According to NDTV World, U.S. President Donald Trump participated in a Diwali celebration at the White House on Tuesday and extended his warm greeting to the people of India, Americans, on the occasion. Watch this from X.
Would you like to come to light?
Yes, if you want. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you all. Thank you.
That happened in India in America. How come the India people are welcome here like this? And this is from the China Daily. Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights, making the triumph of light over darkness, good over evil, and a knowledge of ignorance. The knowledge of over ignorance. I don't know what all that means, but here it is from CBS News.
You probably know Diwali is the festival of lights, but I want to share a little bit more about what this really means. So Diwali symbolizes the triumph of good over evil, of light over darkness, but it also marks the start of a new fiscal year in India. So here's what we do. Typically, you clean your homes, you pray for prosperity and good fortune. And if you're wondering how we celebrate, well, it's kind of sensory overload. We have some sweets with our family. You light fireworks, as you see there. You decorate your home with these little diyas, those diyas there. So they're basically small little clay lamps or candles. And then you hang flower garlands in your home.
So I'm okay with them celebrating that stuff, but in their own country. When you're in America, you're a Christian. And so why is this happening in my country? Why? And according to NDTV World, during the initial remarks, the U.S. president praised the prime minister, calling him a great person and a great friend. Watch this.
Americans, let me also extend our warmest wishes to the people of India. I just spoke to your prime minister today. We had a great conversation. We talk about trade. We talk about a lot of things, but mostly the world of trade. He's very interested in that.
Oh, so the president liking him because the president loves making deals. Maybe that's what it is. But I still don't know why you're celebrating Diwali in our White House. And that much deals in the world. Hake is telling me that they're in his administration as well. I told you my country's gone. They are now celebrating Diwali in a Christian nation. Can we go over there and celebrate Christianity? Maybe the president said he liked this guy because of the deals that they do, so they kind of kissing up at him. If ever, it's Bible Thumping Thursday. We needed you, Lord. We need you now. What do y'all think about all that? My producer said Trump is following in the footsteps of Biden and Obama, who also celebrated Diwali at the Oval Office. But why, though? I just don't know why. Let them celebrate Diwali over there. What they doing over here when they're needed over there? Why?
Uniting the races with truth. Instead of dividing them with lies, we're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Man, as JLP rightly often says, that's what we're doing. I am James Hake filling in for Jesse Lee today. It's Friday. Can you believe it? Already. Again, like JLP says. And it is a get it off your chest type of Friday where we'll take all of your calls, whatever you like to talk about. As long as it's, clean, family friendly, not too personal, no gossip or nastiness. And not only is it Get It Off Your Chest Friday, I've been thinking about changing it from Black Friday to change the Black Day to Wednesday or something like that. I don't know. But I have not made any decision, nor has anybody else around here. Otherwise, it would have happened. And so because of that, and we all like it anyway, it's not to be confused with the day after Thanksgiving, where everybody is in the black. All these businesses that are operating in the red all year, and then the one day they're in the black and makes it all worth it. meaning they're not, they turn an actual profit. This is for black people because we love the blacks. Black people, Americans and other black people around the world. All right, so hang tight, callers, and we will get to you. And we will, I don't know how we'll prioritize black people first. But anyway, we give extra attention to you guys today. Black Americans and black Canadians and black Africans and black Europeans and black Asians. I'm chuckling. It is Black Friday. That was then how things used to be. I remember that kind of, sort of. I mean, I've seen pictures.
I love the blacks.
You do make disparaging remarks towards black people.
He black.
I want to make sure we agree on that first.
No, we disagree.
Hold on.
I want to ask. Well, and the things that you do, I just like I say, I want to hate you, but something won't let me.
Hey,
What?
what's wrong with the blacks?
Very nice. Beautiful. Wasn't that nice hearing Jesse Lee's voice? But I wanted to talk briefly about this little story that I saw about black Americans, basketball players and coaches and things. Because I saw this little news report, and I'm going to recount what I saw on Fox News, okay? So, little disclaimer, we try to keep it accurate, and I'll keep it accurate as best I can. But from my recollection of this news report that I saw on Fox News, some basketball players and a coach, and a former player included, allegedly worked with the mafia, like the Italian mafia, I don't know, either to throw games, like purposely lose, like pretend his foot hurt, for example, allegedly, okay? Unproven, innocent unless proven guilty. I like innocent unless proven guilty, not innocent until proven guilty, because until proven guilty suggests that you will be proven guilty eventually. But I like unless proven guilty. But anyway, or to give internal team information, such as, you know, it's like if Nick were to get injured, and I'd be like, oh, Nick is injured today, guys. Or no, not tell you guys, but tell somebody else. And then I'll tell like his competitor, and his competitor makes a great show and steals viewers from Nick, the American Anchor Baby, live Monday through Friday after Hake, after the Hake Report. Also after the Fallen State on Friday. But he gave insider tips allegedly, okay, when a player was injured, including one player was LeBron James got an injury. You know that great player, LeBron James, who was not in on this, to anybody's knowledge. To me, he wouldn't do this. I can't picture LeBron. He is like the best player currently playing, right? Or he was, at least, until he got older. Maybe he still is. But I can't picture, as silly and liberal and into the black thing, being black in America, it's tough. He got a swastika or N-word painted on his gate one time. But shout out, LeBron James. Sometimes he gets injured, you know. But his teammate apparently, allegedly, somebody found out that he was injured and said, oh, he's injured. And LeBron James is a game maker or breaker, depending on how he performs or doesn't. And this other guy was a really good player who would pretend his foot hurt one time, 9 minutes into the game, and didn't come back. Allegedly, okay? So the FBI, the feds caught them. Allegedly. One rich basketball guy, I don't know if he was a coach, maybe a local Hall of Famer, if I'm getting the story right. He was playing cards with people. You know, like poker maybe, I don't know. And there was a shuffling machine. Why don't you just hand shuffle? But I don't know. It had like X-ray on it. The table could see the cards when their cards were face down. And it allowed somebody to cheat at the games, at the card games. And you wouldn't expect a rich basketball player guy or coach guy. He's already rich. Why does he need to cheat you? He doesn't. But if, like, other people stand to win something, or I don't know, that's partly why you trust them, and they exploit your trust, abuse your trust. Typical of human beings, to abuse your trust. That's why you don't trust people necessarily so easily. You don't give them stuff, because when you give them stuff, this is a side note, they can't help but take advantage of it. You're spoiling them, and then they'll just take advantage of you, and they don't appreciate it. So, what a mess. And I've talked about in Japan, they had this store that was unmanned, according to what I heard from somebody else. And some outsiders came in and abused that trust and just took stuff and didn't pay for it. Because you grab what you want, and then you pay for it, and then you leave. But some of them grabbed what they wanted and they just left, abusing the high trust society. Terrible, huh? So you wouldn't expect a rich basketball player not to be on the up and up, or rich whatever, playing cards with you. But sure enough, allegedly, according to the FBI and stuff, he wasn't on the up and up, and it was in cahoots with the mafia. Crazy. And they have this whole culture of gambling, because who cares if somebody throws a game? It's like you win or lose, big deal. Oh, but there's this gambling and betting on games nowadays, and it's bigger than ever, it seems like. It's like in the culture. Whereas we used to be Christian. I'm a Christian. I don't bet. I don't make bets. I don't gamble. We would play cards. We would play like hearts or poker, but for like Skittles. And you would win some Skittles, and the worst you did was gluttony, because you would eat the Skittles because they're good stuff. So anyway, and those were black successful players. It wasn't poverty that caused that crime, those alleged crimes. It was the evil, selfish, greedy, maybe some intimidation in there, who knows, I don't know. Hearts. Crazy. A quick side note about, you want to show these players, Nick?
Oh. Yeah, I was just perusing some of what you're talking. This is Terry, I believe Terry Rozier.
Is that the guy who was really good and he hurt his foot, allegedly?
Yeah, that's one of the people.
Now, this guy could be innocent. We don't know.
Yeah,
FYI.
but he's among the 34 people charged in this.
Really? I just thought it was 3.
WDBO.
Okay, so among those 34 are not all basketball player Americans.
Correct.
Some of them are mafia people or something?
Yeah.
Or connected?
Gambino crime family.
Whoa!
How do we have the crime family? Hold on. How do we have the crime family doing all this?
Shout out to the Gambinos.
And they have, apparently they had X-rays, special sunglasses.
Wow.
And those card shuffling machines you were talking about?
Yeah.
They had like X-rays, special sunglasses, all sorts of sophisticated cheating technology. And they made like $7 million.
What website are you reading from right
WDBO.
Here? Okay, WDBO.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They had this little thing on the fish, which is the people they were using for this card scam. They call them fish.
Oh, meaning marks.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
So they invite them to play like a...
You go fishing, you catch a fish, meaning a mark.
That's what they
and
call
some of
them.
those are rich people, because only a rich person could play with a fellow rich person. Basically,
yeah,
right?
And they had them basically lose
Whoa.
and extort them out of their money, because they're like, okay, you lost, now you got to pay up.
Yeah.
And it says here that they were like going after them and using what's the word? Threatening them.
Yeah.
Threatening them and all that to make sure they pay their gambling debts.
Wow. I'm laughing, but it's terrible.
Mafiosi stuff.
It just reminds me of some of these TV shows and movies that I used to watch a little bit. I just think of that stuff. But that's crazy. And some people don't care about this. I got a call from somebody yesterday on my show, on the Hake Report, mentioning this, and I wasn't familiar with any of the names that he was talking about because I don't know sports. I know sports, sort of. I can play basketball. It's fun. Not that well, but okay. And but I don't know these professional players. They're not like household names to me.
It's just they're so. I always thought they were paid well, you know.
Right.
Paid well enough not to have to do something like.
Well, that's the faulty thinking.
Right.
Is that's what we talk about with these this idea of being paid well enough not to be dishonest. These politicians are getting paid like crazy. And I'm like, you got to be a public servant. You're a public servant means you're our servant. You're our slave. The people who are elected to office, it should be a sacrifice to them, not a cushy deal where they get richer. Because they're already getting famous. They should be protected, I guess, right? But in general, we need a society that's not so dangerous that they need so much protection and so evil and promoting anger and hatred and assassination culture and murder culture, which is hatred, anger, and lying. But, and I disagreed with this liberal socialist friend of mine. I call him a socialist, but he considers himself liberal at least 10, 15 years ago. And I'm like, they shouldn't be paid so well. And the guy disagreed, and he said they should be paid well enough so that they don't have to be dishonest. But that's faulty thinking because everybody is already dishonest, and it doesn't matter whether you have money or don't. Because the thinking is, oh, you don't have enough money, you're desperate, and you may bend the rules when you feel that desperation. You're worrying. Do not worry. But you worry, and you go to dishonest means to get money because you're worried about your money. But some people aren't even necessarily worried about money, and they're dishonest because they like either the thrill of it or they're greedy for more. Because even poor people and rich people are greedy. Everybody up and down is greedy for something, money or otherwise. Anyway, nice. Terrible. And by the way, just because they're paid enough doesn't paid plenty. The more you're paid, the more you have, the more you need. Because you need all this security and you blow money. You have more money, so you blow more money. Not you necessarily. Some of you keep your money, live modestly regardless. And so you save money and you're good with money. But a lot of people just squander is a good word. Squander their wealth. Wealth. No F in wealth. I wanted to talk about black people and hear a fellow white, a Canadian competitor, talk to black people. I saw this floating around on X recently, and I was like, is this LeBron James podcast? Because LeBron James has this show. He's a competitor of mine, right? At least in the podcast world. I don't know. I might be able to get a shot in on him, too, on basketball. I can shoot left as well. Anyway, no, this is not LeBron James. This is just some other barbershop. Because LeBron James supposedly had a show with barbershop, and they would talk, and it was like a podcast thing, or a talk show or something. But no, here is Steven Crowder. You may have heard of him. He's the one who got us all in trouble making fun of some LGBT type of a person, so-called. And that journalist, activist, LGBT type of person got him in trouble and the whole rest of us in trouble on YouTube years ago. And then he fixed it for himself, but not for the rest of us. And then the rest of us, Trump's election, I guess, fixed it for the rest of us. Thank you, Trump. Bringing back the spirit of the freedom of speech to these platforms, at least on some level. Not fully. They're not all the way. But I see this from Derek, our black producer. Steven Crowder went to a barbershop and debated black men. Outkick shared this information. Steven Crowder returned, I guess he was there before, to a barbershop in Dallas, that's in Texas, and Obama was talking about Dallas. He fantasized about sending the National Guard to Dallas. He was envious that Trump got to do it, but he didn't. For the second time with the intent of having a discussion, Steven Crowder, who is a guy on the internet, YouTuber, podcaster guy, about racial talking points with members of the black community. And so this is from X, one of the viral moments. A little portion of the discussion. Here's Crowder telling a group of black men reparations are immoral. And they, according to Derek, the black producer of the Jason Lee Peterson Show, they caved in. They imploded. Check this out.
Bad decisions, personal accountability. We'd all be against reparations, and we'd all be against the criminal justice reform.
I'm definitely for reparations.
See that to me? You said excuse.
Yeah.
That sounds like an excuse to me.
You ain't paid me back. You ain't paid me for what you owe me. It's
what did I take from you?
You can't start another bill
what did I take
until
from
you pay this old bill.
What did I take from you?
You didn't take but your ancestors.
But you just said you.
When I say you, I meant it as a euphemism.
But can you understand why white people hear it and get pissed off?
Yeah.
Because I didn't take shit.
But they're not mad about the advantages that were built into their lives.
So you want young people to pay? Sounds like an excuse.
Nobody wants to address. And even,
Sounds like an excuse.
Even without paying us back, Steve, know what my thoughts are on this here. Give us an opportunity to exercise our ability and our autonomy.
What? That's sort of... Is that guy talking about he's for reparations, but then he says, give us an opportunity to exercise our autonomy? That doesn't even make sense. He reminds me of this communist guy, literal communist. You know how I throw the term, if you're familiar with Hake, I throw around the term communist all the time. But it reminds me of this communist guy whom I debated. Incidentally, I debated him about slavery too. This white Middle Easterner guy, young, short, but fit. I'm blanking on his name, but it was one of my first appearances on Modern Day Debate. He was pro-communism, but he was talking about independence. You can't be communist, meaning dependent on government or white people's money or the government's money or the rich people's money, and yet also be independent. It's a false sense of independence. What do you mean autonomy? Because you want these people are more and more brainwashed every generation. It's crazy. Maybe the tide is turning, I don't know. It could be because there are more and more people thinking about this racism stuff is phony. The blacks are the worst offenders at this profiling and prejudice and assuming and saying ridiculous claims. They've been saying ridiculous claims all my life. It seems like even before my life. I was born in the early 80s. But it's gotten more and more even ridiculous, more and more ridiculous. Reparations wasn't even mainstream, I don't think, among black people until recently, I think. Until recently. Now you have grown, adult, maybe even older than Hake, I'm in my 40s, men talking about, I want reparations. It's not an ask. We're not asking. Jesse calls it begging. Jesse Lee Peterson, always begging and blaming, begging for reparations. We're not asking. What, you're demanding? Give me my autonomy. You already have your autonomy. You're just blind. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. So here's a little bit more Steven Crowder, I noticed he had to drink that water. Did his throat get dry with these blacks yelling at him? No, he's faces people all the time. But I wonder, I wonder. Because when you're faced with people and these guys just, they seem so nice. They're not getting violent. They're just shouting. Blacks are loud. But anyway, here's Crowder telling a group of black men that over 95% of living white Americans have no direct connection to slave owners. Check this out.
What if I have no root in slavery?
Well, you don't owe nothing. You don't owe anything. Your grandfather, if your grandfather from Canada, he wasn't down here owning slaves.
Okay, I'm just trying to. So then people who didn't own, we don't pay reparations.
He owe money.
But Steve, here's what I'm telling you, though. Hold on a second. Here's what I'm telling you. If you're to go through the numbers, sir, do we agree? If I have no connection to slavery whatsoever, that I don't owe.
You, Steve,
me.
You don't.
We agree.
Don't.
Okay. So do you realize that you could take all the white people in this country, and if you're going to add up everyone where you could actually trace the lineage to slave owners or had any involvement, you would end up with maybe 2 or 3%. 2 or 3% of white people in this country.
There go them numbers.
You
there go them numbers.
You throw out,
there go them numbers.
Most of us have nothing.
Somebody did it. Somebody did.
Yeah, Africans sold them into slavery.
Somebody owed.
It's still going on right now.
Somebody owed.
There are more slaves on earth right now than ever. Did you know that?
Nice. It's honestly beside the point because nobody owes anybody over slavery. It's a nothing issue. They were already fed, housed. It was part of the deal. It's not like they were offered, oh, come to America. There's great opportunities. Psych? No. You were captured and sold and bought and kept alive and allowed to make children or forced to make children. I don't know. And it's not even you. A fortune is made and lost and made again and lost again many times just within somebody's lifetime. You make a lot of wealth, you squander it. Look at some of these basketball players or others, fighters. They make tons of money and then they lose it because they squander it, they don't manage it well or whatever. And I hadn't heard this number that only 2% of living people have any connection to slavery, but I heard from my uncle that white people have some black in them, so would they get the so-called reparations too, as if there's anything to repair. There's nothing to repair. I heard that American slave masters were better to their slaves than, for example, Middle Eastern or Arab or Muslim slave masters, because the Muslims, slaves, masters, you might call them smarter, not in a good way, in an evil way, because they would not make them have children, because children end up helping and working too. Have children, child slaves, and then grow up to be slaves in the house in America. But so if slaves worked together in families, sometimes they were split up, but most of the time they were not, I heard. And over there, they would castrate them, meaning they couldn't even have kids. Nobody wants to be castrated forcibly, but over in the Middle East, they were, I heard. And so they didn't have a remnant population or exploded population.
There you go with them numbers again.
I know how he feels. Ridiculous. And they want it from the government, so that means anybody who pays taxes is paying to it. And it's not going to do anything for them. That's not their issue. Their issue is blindness, brainwashedness, being into the blackness, identifying with their race. And they do it way more than anybody else. Now on earth, you are whatever you are. So there is a practical side to having this identity, but it's not a spiritual identity to where you get prideful and puffed up and provoked. The way that blacks more than anybody get provoked over a racial offense, imagined most of the time. Totally ridiculous. There's a lot of whites who are becoming white identity, which is fine. I mean, you gotta be a nation. You're supposed to be a nation, right? And have some cultural cohesion. This diversity stuff is not working well. But if you're getting provoked inwardly by this racial stuff, you're angry and blind. And that's not good for you or anybody, and it's not good for the country. What a mess. Shout out to the black people, and shout out to Steven Crowder for facing the heat. Those were nice guys. They weren't going to do anything. Hopefully. Oh, man. Did we play before this Asian woman crying racism? Have you played that before? Derek, the producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show, told us about this Asian gal crying racism. And this is what I'm more used to. I'm used to like Asians and Hispanics crying racism because that's what I grew up around. I lived in the suburbs. And the suburbs were taken over not by whites. Maybe when my parents grew up, it was white and Hispanic. But then when I grew up, it was Hispanic and Asian. And then the Asians are probably outnumbering the Hispanics now, maybe. And there's a few blacks. But this Asian gal, and they cry racism. Like they learned it from black people or the fake civil rights propaganda. Just exploiting the weakness and kindness, niceness, not kindness. Kind is right, nice is not. Nice is too nice. Kind is appropriately nice, we'll say. Right? An Asian woman screaming, according to Derek, I don't know if this is true, racism over seating arrangements. One of my Asian friends said that he experienced racism. He was put in a corner in a restaurant before. I'm like, how do you know that was because of you being Asian? NBC L.A. reports the Great White, as in like the Great White Shark, right? On Melrose, up on Melrose, somewhere around here. I don't know my geography. Here in Los Angeles, I believe, getting a lot of backlash after an Asian patron. This is partly why we don't like serving your kind around here, because there's always going to be somebody who has sour grapes and in their head accusing, whether it's true or false, most of the time it's not. Dining at a restaurant claims she and other people of color, quote unquote, anti-white term, were segregated to one part of the restaurant. This is a clip from NBC L.A. Here's the little, I guess, news report. Check this out.
Guys, I'm at Great White, and I don't know if it's just me, but they put all Asians in one corner.
Cassidy Cho and her boyfriend dined at Great White Melrose on Saturday, September 27th, when she says she noticed the restaurant was seating all of the patrons who appeared to be Asian in one section of the restaurant.
The new party just came. But look.
Video she posted to social media documenting her experience got thousands of views and comments. And Cassidy says she quickly realized her experience wasn't unique.
And everybody in the comments were like, no, like that happened to us. And I think there were so many people coming to light and saying that's a shared experience that we've had.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Dude, I would do that.
You would do that? You would segregate?
I would do that totally subconsciously even, maybe. You know, because we like order and we're just like, all the shapes go together. Let's say I'm a server or a host seating these people. It wouldn't be racist. I'm just like, maybe even subconsciously, you know what I mean? Like, these people seem to fit here. They seem alike.
And they weren't even she wasn't even having a bad experience. So she didn't scream racism, but she's like, it might just be me. And she shares it on the internet, putting the company on blast. And what's the what, you don't like Asian people? Asian lady? Young lady. She looked like she went to UCLA or something like that. Those UCLA people. I have a bias against anybody who went to UCLA. Not
and
anybody.
Asian
specifically went to UCLA or any UC. UC Irvine. Yeah. You can tell I have some
Canada,
animus.
It's the same way.
They get brainwashed.
The Asians in the universities, they're like exactly like this.
They think in the terms of race and brainwashing. And they don't even know any black people, by the way. When you bring up blacks, they think that you're the bad guy. When they don't even know black people, so they don't even know that how right I am
when I talk
Yeah.
about
And
on
stuff.
the Asians I'm thinking of, they would say very openly, they'd be like, I'm only gonna date and marry with an Asian and stuff.
Right.
So
and not just an
they'll be
Asian.
just as
Watch out
racist.
for the Filipinos.
Yeah,
Oh,
wait, hold on.
don't get with those Vietnamese. They have annoying voices. Stuff like that.
Got your home.
Shout out.
That just means sausage.
So she didn't even have a bad experience. It was just
That's right.
amusing. But she looks like she's intelligent.
Got a big personality.
She's Asian, you know. But anyway, she seems like sort of educated. She said shared experience.
Jeez.
Liberal buzzword, communist buzzword, shared experience. Because that's not a bad experience to be seated amongst other Asians.
They do that on their own if we didn't mess with them.
This reminds me of a story I heard in Dinesh D'Souza's movie, former JLP and Fallen State guest Dinesh D'Souza. He did this documentary on Obama, and back in 2016, Obama's America. And in Obama's own words, he's recounting how his Muslim stepdad from Indonesia, Setero, brought his mother amongst white Americans in this area in Indonesia, I guess. And the mother, who first married a Kenyan, allegedly, and then married this Indonesian, both Muslims. One of them turned atheist. But she apparently hated white people, Obama's white mother, and she said, "These are not my people." Then that was in Obama's own words, reading from his book.
Jeez.
And this was before AI, so it wasn't just an AI voice, if I'm recalling correctly from this documentary.
Should leave America like this.
Yeah. Jeez. And so this Asian, Indonesian, Pacific Islander Muslim married to Obama's mom, trying to bring the mom around fellow whites. Is that racist? Give me a break.
Proximity to white people is not a right, says the chat.
Yeah, true. That's funny. And like you said, it could be totally subconscious. It could be just come down to a server.
I would just
that's
be
the server
associative.
level.
It would just be associative for me, like maybe totally subconscious. Like,
I want to know who the server was. We got to dox the server.
These people fit here.
Meaning the waiter. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Or the host. Sometimes the host is the one that.
True.
It's a busy
that's
enough
right.
restaurant. They'll have like a host up front.
Yeah, the usher, the host ushers you to your table.
Hostess.
So employees, here's the rest of this little news report. Employees from 2023 say that management told them to discriminate against people of color. From 2023, employees were saying this, or at least employees from 2023. Wow, trashing their employer. That's such the culture nowadays. Backstabbing turncoats. Here it is.
However, NBC4 tracked down former employees who say this was part of the management culture.
They were very direct about telling me to make sure I limit the amount of ethnic people that are coming in.
Sarah Breyer says she worked for
that.
Grand Blanco in Venice Beach in 2023 when it was owned by Sam Trude and Sam Cooper, the co-founders of the Great White restaurants. She says her management directed her to treat people of color differently.
If Asian guests came in, we were told to seat them outside. Like, they never got an inside table.
Montana Pine also says she worked at Grand Blanco as a server when Sarah was a host there.
We were instructed to tell people that the restaurant was at capacity when, certain demographics came in that they did not want in the restaurant.
Montana quit a year ago. Both women said it was all too much to deal with.
She's crying almost.
No way.
She's literally holding her. When she's crying, she's lying. That was like a light-skinned black gal with the deeper voice talking about, he instructed us to something. And then a white gal is like, yeah. These messy women and busybody news team. Like this is even worth investigating, other than it's amusing to talk about. It got me animated. It's entertainment. But you're trying to hurt a business.
And I just don't believe
that's doing good by everybody. And the outside, for the Asians, outside is better. Sometimes Asians, specifically like certain types of Asians, talk loud. We just talked about how the Vietnamese have a piercing, obnoxious sort of voice. And some of the Asian, some of the Chinese are not as thoughtful and considerate of others around them. So they may be loud compared with like Japanese who are more considerate.
Right.
So I don't know. There's all kinds of different. Well, I'm kind of justifying if it's true. But go ahead.
I was just thinking, I just don't believe that a manager went to the black woman that his black employee and said, hey, make sure you keep these colored people out. Like, no.
However, NBC4 tracked down former employee.
Like, I worked with many black servers and people, and they were quick to say sometimes, oh, I hate serving black people.
Right.
Oh, don't seat them
They
here.
don't have any guilt to limit their speech, whereas everybody else has a false guilt.
So I can imagine, I don't know this lady, I can imagine her maybe even being with the manager when she was working there, but now that she's not,
agreeing.
she's like, oh yeah, they're racist.
Yeah. That's so evil. The media colluding with the busybodies, because the busybody, unchristian media, joining in with the mess. It reminds me of the Trayvon Martin thing. There were activists crying racism when Trayvon Martin was allegedly killed in self-defense after he beat up George Zimmerman, attacked the neighborhood watch, and the police knew that it was just a case of self-defense, so they didn't charge him. And then the local black communist agitators ginned up controversy. The media caught wind of it, and it became a national and international story. Pure speculation about, oh, was he racist? And then they edit the 911 call that George Zimmerman made to the police about, oh, I think he's black. They asked him his race, the suspect's race, or the suspicious person's race. It's ridiculous.
Which is pretty normal.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to get a description. So it's just phoniness. Busybody, messy media, communist, socialist, divide and conquer. Even the local news. Somebody said it's a weird tactic because if you walk outside and you see on the patio it's just a bunch of Asians, you might not want to go into this Great White place. Yeah, true. What a mess. So it's not the black, dark, evil mindset of identifying with race, even when it's not even hurting anybody. You could ask to be moved, and I bet you that they would move you. Even when it's not hurting anybody, you want to cry this racism mess.
Get on that straight and narrow and stay there no matter what, men and women. Really, return to the Father. Forgive your mothers. All who are born of the flesh, of the mother, must forgive and be born of the Spirit of the Father. And you shall have peace. Really. Now you might have peace. You shall have it. You are not created to suffer. When you are suffering, it's because you are wrong. You're not supposed to be suffering.